Welcome back to the 2019 IPF World Open Powerlifting Championships here in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And it is going to be a fantastic day of lifting. And of course, I'll be joined with Ralph Farquharson today, none other than a two-time Hall of Famer, all the way from the UK, and of course the EPF as well. We'll be taking you through the 57 kilo women this morning. We'll have two flights. And then, of course, this afternoon, the 74 kilo men as well. We're just getting through the referee introductions. And we're going to take you through some of the rules today as well. For those of you who are new to the sport, and even those of you who aren't overly new to the sport, we're going to take you through some of the rules just to make it a little bit easier and talk about some of the things we see today. So, of course, we're starting off with the squats this morning. And it's and the squat's one of the technical lifts as well. There's a lot of commands. You've got to wait for a squat command. You've got to wait for a rack command. And we've got certain rules for that. You've got to meet depth as well. You've got to lock the knees. I'm going to take you through some of what the cards mean. And throughout the day today, we'll work through some of the rules around all the lifts as well. And of course, one of the things that a lot of people, especially new to the sport, tend to mix up is they jump that squat command. Depth is another thing. We've seen that a lot this week already. The hip crease needing to be below the knee as well, the top of the knee. The bar has to always continue in an upward motion. So if you get a bar dip, that's a yellow card with a red light. Knees have to be in that locked position at the start and at the finish as well. So you have to be starting in a locked position, finishing in a locked position. We've seen that a few times yesterday already, not getting to that locked position. And we are 1 minute away from the start of what's going to be another absolutely fantastic day. And of course, brought to you by Alico, none other than the greatest lifting equipment on the planet. Their motto is to raise the bar, and they continually raise the bar. Uplift, who have put on an amazing show here so far this week, has been absolutely spectacular. It looks amazing. And they're not just doing a great competition, they're a great company as well, bringing coaches and athletes together from around the world. And of course, SBD, the greatest equipment you can get your hands on. We all wear it, and we all wear it because it's the best equipment you can get your hands on as well. And none of this possible without these guys. They do so much for the sport. An absolutely unbelievably growing sport. There's 120 nations in the IPF now, representing the IPF. It's just growing and growing and growing. And at the General Assembly this week, they inducted several provisional members as well. So 120 is just the beginning. And here we are getting away. Adriana Moreno Mena with 140 kilos from Costa Rica.
Yeah, I agree with you, Gary. It's going to be another fantastic day of lifting.
And of course,
Okay, I can hear you.
Ralph, two-time Hall of Famer, European Powerlifting Federation here joining us to take us through all the action. And that is a nice start to the morning.
Good, easy lift to start. Yeah, I agree with you, Gary. This going to be another fantastic day of lifting. I mean, yesterday was off the scale, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, we always say every session it doesn't get better than that, and then every session gets better than that.
Looking at the numbers today, I can tell you there got to be some.
It is going to be another big one.
Fantastic lifting.
And of course, in the 57s, we've got two flights today. So we'll run straight through the first one, then straight into the second one. And right now on the platform, there's a Weili Yu from Hong Kong looking for 140.
Yeah, it should be comfortable. PB is 165.
Yeah, well under a personal best. And a good lift. Good start to the morning. Give you an idea of the strength of this weight class. World record 225 kilograms. World junior record 221.5. Ramalakshmi J from India 150.
Again, 20 kilo below her personal best. It's good, comfortable.
Yeah, good conservative opening lift.
Get the first one on the platform, get on the board. and then you can move on.
Yeah, I mean, you can practice an opening lift in the gym as many times as you want. When you walk out of that platform, everything's different.
3 referees,
so you
a
want,
jury looking at you.
Yeah, so you want it to be a number that you're going to get even on a bad day, even when everything goes wrong, you can still do it.
I was told once that if somebody called you in the middle of the night and ask you to go and do a squat, you should be able to do the opener.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. Yeah, exactly right. I mean, it should be a number that you can do even if someone called you in the middle of the night. Yeah, good bounce into the bottom. Lock the knees out very nicely.
Which is important.
Oh, gets the 2 red lights though.
Not deep enough.
And that is for depth. Let's have a look at the replay. We've got a front replay there, might not be able to see. Yeah, hard to tell from that angle. But unfortunately, but look, it wasn't a weight issue, so it's not going to be a problem coming out to fix that one.
And just to explain that the rule says that the top of the hip joint must go below the top of the knees. So
That's
when
exactly, that's exactly it. So you've got to, you've got to be convincing.
Yeah.
Marlene Sabati from Austria now, 155. Yeah, look, I mean, we talk about it all the time. You need to be convincing. If you're squatting borderline, 3 times out of 5 you might get the white lights, but 2 times out of 5 you're going to get the reds.
Yeah, that is correct.
Very smooth all the way back to the top. And the referee says it's a good lift.
Just a reminder, Ramalekshmi's lift was good.
So there was an overrule. It was a good lift. It was deep enough. Ramalekshmi was a good lift.
57.5, Hiroi Fukugami, Japan.
Hiro Fukugami from Japan now looking at 157.5. Taking a bit of time there.
Ooh, lost the picture.
And she's had to fight for it.
What the referee say? No.
No lift. Again, not deep enough.
Please load about to 162.5 kilos for Yuki Terada, Japan. Eva Buxbaum and Melody Antoine, get ready.
So we load the bar
Bar
now.
loaded, 157.5 kilos here for Yuki Terada.
So Yuki Terada now at 157, 162 and a half. Sorry.
162.5 Yuki Terada, Japan.
She's 45 years old. She's been competing for 5 years. She's a director. I'm not sure of what.
Well, I think she's a director of the squat.
Squat, yeah. That's good.
It's that big breath in. Drops it into the bottom. Probably wasn't the easiest looking opening squat.
Yeah.
I mean, it was well under a personal best, but it just didn't look easy.
By having the feet close, it doesn't allow the body hip to go between the legs.
Yeah, it makes it very difficult. You've got to find that balance in between. She gets 3 white lights and it's on the board, but I'm sure she would have liked it to have been a lot easier. Eva Buxbaum from Denmark now, 162 and a half.
Yeah. She's a Masters 2 now, competing 15 years. She's a writer. She writes children's book, I've been told.
Oh, there you go. The Adventures of Eva and Squatting.
Yes.
So, Eva is a Masters 2 lifter. The current world record is 171. And she moved that smoothly.
Yes.
Did she lock the knees at the top?
Let's see.
She did. She gets the 3 white lights.
162.5 for Ava. 172.5 kilos for Melody.
Is she working her way up to take a shot at that world record, that world M2 record at 171?
Last 2 lifters in round 1.
Melody.
Followed in 172.5 kilos, Melody Antoine, France.
Melody Antoine,
Opening on her
France.
personal best.
Yeah,
Equal
opening
it.
on that 172.5.
Kick a bit nervy. Yeah, we talked about this yesterday.
And you know what?
Yeah.
That's also it too. I mean, if it's a number that is, you know, I mean, certainly sometimes we get a list of their personal best and it was set 6 months ago or 12 months ago.
And they could have moved on since
But
then.
if it's not something that's been, you know, a long time back and there's been lots of training cycles, it does add to the pressure when you're walking out for that
Yes,
first
that's
lift.
what we discussed yesterday, yeah. Looks strong enough.
And she had no problem moving the weight.
No. The referee say.
And gets it on the board, so the pressure did not worry her at all. Caroline Soon from France, 200 kilograms.
And this is 7.5 kilo above her personal best. But again, same again. Depending on
Hopefully
where
it's a personal best. It was set some time ago.
Followed in 200 kilos, Caroline Soon of France.
And another question, was it set at a lower body weight? At a lower body weight, again, that's also possible.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, it could be a body weight thing as well.
Yeah. Strong.
Very strong lift.
2-1.
Red light.
2-1 no lift for Caroline. We're into round 2. First weight on the bar is 152.5 kilos. Adriana Moreno, Costa Rica. Wiley Yu and Hiroi Fujigami, get ready.
Yeah, she got a bit unlucky there, but you've got to be convincing.
Right on the limit.
You've got to be convincing. You don't want to be borderline in your squat.
On your first attempt, especially the
Because
first
they're going to watch even closer on the next
time,
one.
mate.
Adriana Mena, Costa Rica for her second lift, 152 and a half.
She's gone up 12.5 kilo. Getting close to her personal best. That looks wrong.
She didn't seem to be too stressed about it. 3 white lights.
155. Next weight on the bar, Wiley Yu from Hong Kong. Hiroi Fujigami and Ramalakshmi Jain, get ready. Followed in 155 kilos, Wiley Yu, Hong Kong.
Wiley Yu from Hong Kong now, 155.
She's 36 years old. It says competing up to 1 year.
Yeah, so not a whole lot of competition.
No.
And here she is on the world stage. And looks to have handled that very well. 3 white lights. That one goes on the board as well.
7.5 kilos next weight on the bar. Hiroi Fujigami.
Hiro Fujigami from Japan, looking at a second attempt at 157 and a half.
Followed in
Missed this
157.5
on
kilos.
her opening
Yeah.
lift.
She missed this, so she needs this to get on the board.
So just didn't get deep enough.
She's a Masters 2 lifter. She started quite light. She's 6 years in competition. So just need to go a bit deeper. This one, feet are very close again.
Yeah, it's going to be
I'm going to wait.
it's going to be a tough one, that one.
Yeah,
She's going to find it hard to get the white lights.
yeah.
Again, but this time 3 white lights, not deep enough.
So no lift, unfortunately.
very difficult when the feet are so close because,
from
again, the
India,
hips
bar
not
is
allowed to
loaded
go.
with 160 kilos.
Yeah, look,
Yeah, you can see it
when
from
you
here.
have that
Yuki
close
Tirada,
Yeah.
stance,
get
and
ready.
again, there's some that it
Bar
works
loaded,
for because the
160
hip mobility is
kilos,
just that way,
Yeah.
but it
India.
just makes it that little bit tougher
It's
to
harder.
push through.
The power is in the hips, isn't it? And you got to get the hips down to drive from there.
Yeah,
upwards.
just sit them back. Ramalashmi J from India, 160.
Yeah, she opened with 150, so this is a 10 kilo increase. And she's still 10 kilo below her
Yeah,
personal
still
best.
below a personal best.
Yeah.
25 seconds.
And Fuchigami has got herself into all sorts of trouble now. Quick out of the bottom.
Looks
Not
comfortable.
super deep,
No.
but I think it should be deep enough, and it is. So she has no problem with that. So we stay at 160 for Marina Sabati from Austria.
Get ready.
And I think, being coached by Robert Hofstadter,
She's a
another
juicy.
great coach, and also an uplift coach
Yeah. She got, it's supposed to be her last year in as a
as a junior.
junior. She was competing for 8 years.
So looking for 160. Sinks it in. Very easy.
Certainly was.
It looked like
Ah, but
that
the
looked like
referee
an
said no.
opener, but not deep enough.
160 kilos, 170.
Didn't quite get the depth there.
Yuki Tirada,
I was expecting a coach to walk over to the jury panel for a bit of a conversation, but he clearly agrees.
Bar loaded, 170
Yuki
kilos,
Tirada from
Yuki
Japan
Tirada,
looking for 170.
Japan.
Yeah, opening with 162.5. She's gone up 7.5 kilo. She's 45 years old and competing for 15 years.
Got those wraps super tight. And you can see the little almost pause there as she dips into the
Get
bottom
hip jumps.
to really make good use of those
Now,
wraps.
the
That
referee
time
saying
not deep enough.
not deep enough.
She's a great technique though. Just needs to probably let it go a little bit further. Have a look on the replay. Those wraps are super tight. Yeah, just not quite. I mean, she dipped in really well.
It's a
And
world
as we
record, first of the
suspected,
day.
Eva Buxbaum from
Yeah, she's
Denmark,
going for it.
looking for the Masters 2 record, 172.5. One 172.5. Second round of squats in the first flight, in the first session. We've already got a world record
For a
attempt.
world record, yeah. So Eva been around for a long time, 15 years in competition. Plenty of experience.
Yeah, she would have been training for this one and planning
Oh,
for this
yes.
one for quite some time
Sure
now, I'd
she
say.
has.
She's having to fight for it.
Look a bit too much.
Just didn't get a lot of speed out of the bottom there. Just didn't quite get the speed.
Yeah.
It didn't look like deep enough, and one of the refs has actually said that she wasn't on depth either.
But she got one more attempt to go. So
Yeah, that's right.
another attempt.
She's planned it well. She's opened, got one on the board. First attempt at the record on a second, and she's got a third one up her sleeve if anything went wrong. And if she gets it, she had a third one up her sleeve to add a bit more.
Correct.
Yeah, so a very mature way to do it. Melody Antoine from France, 177.5.
This is a new personal best if she's successful. increase of 5 kilo from a preview. It's 172.
Well, her first lift, she looked very calm and composed. Oh, it just pushed her forward a little bit. She got to the bottom there.
Just lost control at the bottom.
Yeah, you can see as she got to the bottom, we should be able to see it on the replay, that just as she started off, she broke her hips and broke her knees really well. And this was a great start to the lift. Probably just needed to sit back a little bit more.
But also the left knee come in.
Just dropped a little bit.
Once it comes in, you lose the power.
I think she needs to just sit back a little bit further into it. That'll let the knees come out. And she'll be able to fix that one up.
I'm sure she might. Sure.
So Caroline Soon now from France, 200 kilos, missed this on her opener. So needs to put this one on the board.
Yeah.
Knees dropped in there.
Again, you see the knee comes in.
The knees fell in, and once those knees start to move in, it's near impossible to generate power.
No, you lose power as you come.
So she's really going to have to focus and force those knees out. All right, now Hiro Fuchigami is going to be coming out for a third attempt at 157.5. Has got herself into all sorts of trouble here.
I worry for her because...
and it shouldn't have been a hard lift. It's well under her personal best. She's just really going to have to force those knees right out to allow her hips to drop down.
Yeah, I wish her well, but I worry that she may not be able to get the depth. And it's just base and stance.
It's still going to be close.
It's deeper.
That looked deeper, but is it deep enough? It's going to be a very close call. And she gets it on the board.
Well done indeed.
And she breathes a sigh of relief as she walks off there. Just leave it to the last lift and just gets in there by the skin of her teeth.
Followed in 160 kilos, Adriana Moreno, Costa Rica.
160 on the bar for Adriana Moreno from Costa Rica now.
5 attempts remain to change B group openers. 5 attempts.
This will be a personal best.
Yeah, by 5 kilo.
Looks a little unsteady under the bar there. Probably not the best walkout we've seen. But handled the weight really well on the way back up. The way she walked out, she looked unsteady. She gets it on the board.
She got a yellow for the center referee.
Yeah, and I think that might have been for not locking the knees properly. From the angle of the head referee, it probably looked a little soft.
But that's
see the
bit
replay
blue.
there.
Bit blue, not yellow.
Blue would be yellow, yeah, sorry, blue.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about walkout. We, in our coaching course, we said lifters should do no more than one step backwards, just to clear the stance.
Yeah, we have I teach what I call a 3-step walkout. So you step with one foot, step the other one, and then set your first one.
Try and
So
conserve
it's basically
energy
one step,
because balance as well.
Marlene
That looks good.
Sabati. She missed the 160 on a second. She went to 165, and she gets it on the board. I've never seen someone run in wraps quite that fast running off the platform there, but she's pretty happy with it. Yeah, I mean, you want to conserve energy. You don't want to be wasting energy.
Yeah, 2, 3 steps
walking out, 3 steps,
bars,
rocking back and forth.
Yeah.
So 167.5 for Wiley Yu. Be a couple of kilo personal best.
Yep, that looks strong. Is it deep enough? Yes,
It's
it
a
was.
good lift. Incidentally, we talked about her not having a lot of experience. She was actually competing quite some time ago, back in 2008 as well. So.
Yeah.
Yuki Terada from Japan.
Japan, 170 kilos.
Looking for 170.
Missed this.
Yeah, it's
Second attempt.
it's a smidge below a personal best of 176.
Yeah, 76, which must be a national record.
And it was really just depth. Did a 172.5 last year at the World Open Powerlifting Championships in Hampstead.
Oh, she's Hampstead.
Those wraps are super tight. It's making it very hard for her to get depth on that.
Again, she did a little dip at the bottom, but was deep
dip
enough?
Far enough?
Yeah, it's a question.
She
no.
didn't. It's still, those wraps look like they were just a fraction too tight. She just couldn't push through them. So we stay at 170. Ramalakshmi J from India.
Bar loaded, 170 kilos, Ramalakshmi J, India.
Good series. She opened with 150, then she went 160. Now she got another 10 kilo.
Yeah, that'll equal her personal best. So that's some good decisions. Gets the squat command. Looks good from this angle. She's got a good technique where she just slowly speeds up as she gets to the bottom.
Yes.
And it is. It's a good lift. It gets the 170 on the board. So now we go 172.5.
Yeah, world record again.
M2 record.
Round 3. This is Ava's second attempt at the world M2 record.
Now, that world M2 record, currently 171, is her record.
She need to go a little bit deeper, I think.
Yeah, so she set that 171 World Masters 2 record this year in Potchefstroom in the World Masters Championship.
Oh, right, in South Africa, yeah.
Incidentally, earlier that year, she set the world record at 170.5. So she's no stranger to walking out for a record.
Okay.
Hence the maturity of doing it on a second. Yeah, so she's just going to have to really
push the hips a little bit deeper.
And get that bounce out of the bottom to get the speed.
She fights again.
Lot more speed out of the bottom that time.
What's the referee say?
And let's see what the decision is.
No.
Not deep enough. It's a no lift. No lift, unfortunately. So she'll just have to settle for 2 world records this year. Sorry, my mistake. 3 world records this year. So now, Melody Antoine from France, 177.
177.5 kilos, Melody Antoine of France.
So missed this on a second. She nearly fell forward on that one again.
The knee nearly went in. It began to go in.
Managed to recover it
got
really
it?
well,
No,
but
she
not
hasn't.
deep enough. bit disappointed with that. So look at the replay. She nearly fell into the same trap. Her knees break well, but she doesn't really sit back.
Yeah.
And you can see it pushing her forward
It's a
as she
left
gets
knee
to the bottom.
coming in, yeah.
The knees are popping in a little bit, and the path of the bar is just a fraction forward because she's not sitting back. But Caroline Soon of France, 200 kilograms. It is a do or die effort. She has missed her first 2 attempts at this weight.
And her
do
PB
or die.
was 192.5, so she's actually started 7.5 kilo above her personal best.
Depth looks good in that one, but just
no, she got the depth.
Get back out.
The power to drive back out of it.
Just couldn't power it back up. What a disappointing way to end her squats. Training so hard. But she'll be back out to show us what she can do on the bench press. So we move straight into the second flight now. With Tsai Ching Hung, Chinese Taipei, 140.
Bar is loaded, 140 kilos for Xu Qing Hung, Chinese Taipei.
Her personal best is 210. She's starting at 140. That's again.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
Very interesting.
Is
she
it
coming off an injury or something? That is possible. Looks very easy.
Well, I would imagine 140. I'd hope 140 was easy, but best is 210.
210.
Yeah, it's an interesting opening lift. I mean, she squatted a 162.5 last year in the World Championships in Hampstead. So it's interesting she opened there. But she's got it on the board. Now, I think we might have a problem with the board.
Scoreboard.
We should be looking at Erica Buono from Brazil.
Oh, it's come down, yes.
And there it is, Erica Buono from Brazil, 182.5.
She's 2.5 kilo below her personal best. 39 years old, 15 years in competition. Her job is a personal trainer.
Oh, very good opening lift.
Looks strong.
That should be a good lift. And it is. Yeah, I mean, plenty of experience and great coaching as well. Hilda Mikkelsen from Norway now, 190.
Yeah, she's been around a long time. 28 years old, 5 years in competition. Very good lifter indeed.
The personal best of 207.5.
Yeah,
so
comfortably open.
Yeah, it shouldn't be any problem.
Yeah.
And certainly a familiar face on the world stage.
Very close grip, the arms.
If you can get those,
very flexible
those hands in close to those shoulders, you can really tighten up that system.
Yeah. Again, you talk about 3-step backwards. Yeah.
Yep, conservative. You don't want to waste energy. Very fast lift. And it's a good lift. Great way to start. Daniela Kolesnik from Russia now.
Bars loaded, 190 kilos, Daniela Kolesnik, Russia.
Opening with 10 kilo below her personal best. Again, get the first one on the board. Get in the competition.
Yeah, look, I mean, she's 20 years of age, so very, very young. 8 years experience. Yeah, and at such a young age, no stranger to the world stage. And look at the confidence in that lift. 3 white lights, no mucking around. Come out, lift the bar, off you go. Good job, well done. So Ellie Steele.
Yeah, she told me yesterday that she's in good form, and she looks like it because she's opening with 200 kilo, which is 7.5 kilo above
Her personal best.
So
Let's hope she has
training
it
gone well,
overestimated.
and she's some competitor. She really is. "28 years old, 5 years in competition."
Well, she hit a 200 this year
Oh,
at the
that looks easy.
IPF Powerlifting Championships, so in the Europeans. So she's practiced that plenty of times. I mean, that's the thing. We look at personal best of 192.5, and it hasn't been updated because she competed this year at the European Powerlifting Championships
And she did
hit
more.
a 200.
Oh well, that's not been.
Yeah, so sometimes their personal bests aren't always an indicator.
Yeah.
I mean, we go on the information they give us.
Under the new rule, the lifter should fill in their profile after each competition. So if they did one, it should be updated. Maybe the punch come where it should be updated automatically.
Yeah, well, it's the future of IT.
Yeah, future of IT. Can be done, should be able to be done.
So Kenya, Montserrat, Ecuador, 205. Strong lifter. It's going to be very, very close on the depth. It's hard to tell from this angle, but let's see what the referees see. She gets 2 to 1. That's good lift. So from the angle here, I mean, it looked a little bit shy, but as you can see, the side we can see was given a red light.
Yep.
205 kilos, Artati Sri, Indonesia.
Artati Sri from Indonesia now looking for 205.
Yeah, she's 35 years old, 18 years in competition, and she is a power lifter.
There's nothing better than being able to list your job as a powerlifter. What's your job? I lift heavy things.
I lift heavy weights.
And this is certainly a heavyweight, 205. Weighed in at 55.8 today.
That looks strong.
Putting in plenty of effort there. And it pays off. She gets the 3 white lights. So we go to 207.5 for Anna Ryskova from Russia.
Taylor LaChapelle and Su Ching Hung, get ready.
Her PB's list is at 220, so she's starting 207, so she should be comfortable.
Probably a little harder than what you'd want for an opening lift.
Let's see what the referee say.
It's a good lift, but it took a lot of effort.
Russia. Please load the bar to 212.5 kilos for Taylor LaChapelle, USA.
Taylor LaChapelle from the US of A now, 212.5.
Is she? Oh, she's a junior.
212.5 kilos.
20
20
years
years
of
old.
age.
USA.
She must be the holder of the world record for the juniors, which is 221.
221 and a half, she certainly is.
Could well be, because that's what her PB is.
She's certainly the world record holder. And she is here today to stamp her authority in the opens. She puts this lift on the board. She's going to put herself in a very, very good position to put all of these ladies under some pressure.
And this could give her the medal in the squats. Gold medal.
Speed was good. Was the depth good enough? It
Yes.
was. We often say a fast lift is a good lift. Don't hang around the bottom and give them too much to look at.
That's it. Down and up.
Yeah, you want to get it done and done quick. And you're sitting down around the bottom for a long time. It gives the referees a lot of extra time to really scrutinise that hip position. So we come around for our second lift. Si Ching Hung, Chinese Taipei, 152.5.
Yeah, she's only gone up 12.5. So
yeah,
140 was easy.
Still well below,
way below
what she's listed as a personal
like
best.
Said, that must be incorrect.
And we saw the way the 140 moved too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was super quick.
Again,
and that one's moving like their warm-ups as well. Yeah, look, I mean, often we see athletes that, you know, a week out, 2 weeks out from competition, they get a little bit of a niggle of an injury. They drop their opening lift right back down just to make sure they can get them on the board, see how everything's feeling first.
Yeah, makes sense.
And we'll see what she does in her bench. So Erica Bueno from Brazil now, 190. This should be a personal best.
Yes. Her personal best listed at 185.
So that 185 she did last year at the World Powerlifting Championships. So she's upping it this year, and she gets the 190. That's not a bad increase over a 12-month period. 5 kilos. And she's not finished yet. She's still got another lift to go.
So she could possibly increase by another 5 kilo maybe.
So Hilda Mikkelsen from Norway now, 200 kilograms.
200 kilos, Hilda Haugen, Norway.
Yeah. An increase of 10 kilo from her opener.
Yeah, still under her personal best.
Yeah.
Plenty of experience. I mean, she's been competing 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen her plenty of times on the world stage now too. So she's
yeah,
no stranger to this sort of environment.
Not at all.
Takes her time very well. Smooth all the way through. Has a bit of a laugh. And she gets the 3 white lights. She's pretty happy with that one. I'll tell you what.
If you can laugh at 200 kilo.
If you want a gold medal in the squat session in this weight class, you are really going to get pushed, because we've got 4 athletes hanging around that 217, 212, 215. Yep. It is going to be tough to get the medals.
It's going to be a battle. And that's what you want to see. Yeah, no one see one lifter running away with it. You want
the best
to see
of the best.
You want to see this, the best of the best.
Daniela Kolesnik from Russia, 200 kilograms.
This equal her personal best.
Fast into the bottom, gets good speed out of the hole. Gets the rack command, and the referee say it's a good lift. She got that rack command just in time. You can see she was just starting to feel a bit of a lean forward when she got the rack command. Might be able to see it in the replay. Just starting to fall. Looked like she was just about to lose her grip there, balance, and she gets the rack command. Ellie Steele looking for 210.
Yeah, this is an increase of 10 kilo from her first. Her first was very good. Did she get one red light? I think she did get one red, but I think I'm sure she will nail this one. I think.
Just needs to make sure
Yeah.
she drops into the bottom well. Yeah, that looked a lot better at the bottom there.
That looks very strong.
Looked a lot more convincing at the
Yeah,
bottom.
the
Let's
first
see what the
round.
referees say. Were they convinced?
Yeah,
They were.
3 white light.
Much better.
Next weight on the bar is 212.5. Anna Rishkova, Kenya Montserrat, and
Anna Ryshkova from Russia, 212.5 kilograms.
bar loaded, 212.5 kilos, Anna Rishkova of Russia.
So she hit a 215 last year at the World Open Championships.
Right. So
She did 220 at the World Games in 2017. So plenty of experience.
I mean, today she's here for a medal today to
Yeah, look,
the podium. Yeah.
I've got to take my hat off to the Russian team so far.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
if you look at yesterday, they are thinking about that long game.
Yeah.
They're not getting caught
100%.
up in little games. They're not getting caught up in the little battles. Their eyes on the prize, and they're
Yeah.
not wavering from that at all.
And
Come for a championship medal. That's what we're going for.
it's part of the build-up to the big. This is working.
That looks good. And the referees say no lift.
Not deep enough.
From we're sitting on the angle here, it looked okay, but we might see a different
We're
angle on
looking
the
upwards,
replay.
so make it difficult.
Get ready.
Yeah, you look at the replay
Good
there. It
call
was
by the referee.
pretty borderline.
And just to sum up, Gary, nearly called you Martin again. Sorry.
You can
This
call me
is-
anything, Ralph. Just don't call me late for dinner.
This is also a build-up for the World Game in 22.
That's right.
So it's a program building up next year as the qualifier.
Yep, and a lot of athletes, I mean, at this level, they're using different competitions, you know,
The
as
top lifters,
part of their cycle as well. Kenya Montserrat from Ecuador, 215 kilograms.
This will equal our personal best.
It is a tough, tough game at the top of this list here.
Certainly is. Oh, yes.
And it
that's
moved
so
very, very
comfortable.
quickly. And she gets 2 white lights, that's enough. And
Next weight on the bar, 217.5
Taylor
kilos.
LaChapelle from the USA, 217 and a half.
Round 3 with Su Jing Hung.
Just 20 years of age.
This could get closer to the world record.
You know, she's 20 years of age, and here she is
Junior.
challenging the open lifters and saying to the open women, if you want a gold medal,
You're gonna beat me.
I want it too. Look at how tight they've got those wraps for this lift. And look at the speed she got out of
speed.
them. She's got good mobility in the shoulders and the wrists there. She's able to get those hands in really close. She gets the 3 white lights. But she's not going to have it all her own way because Hatati Sri from Indonesia wants 217 and a half as well.
Bar loaded, 217.5 kilos. Hartati Sri,
And she is a fraction lighter than LaChapelle.
She opened with a comfortable 205. So she gone 12.5 kilo increase.
So she's about 100 grams lighter than LaChapelle. So all she has to do is equal her for the gold medal in the squats. But she's got to put it on the board first.
Yes. She fight for it. The finisher's got it.
And
Aye.
it should be a good one. It is. She gets 2 to 1. It's a good lift. You see the center referee there just giving her a call on depth.
Su Jing Hung, Chinese Taipei. Erica Bueno and Hilda Haugen to get ready. At the conclusion of this round, there will be a 10-minute break while we reset for the bench press.
So right now we've got Si Ching Hung, Chinese Taipei, 160.
7.5 kilo increase from a second. And she's still way counter nominated.
Yeah, look, I'm not 100% sure if that's
not sure.
incorrect. But I mean, the way she's moving these weights, she's clearly lifted well above that before. And the data I've got doesn't have a 210 listed. Boy, the depth looked good in that one.
Yeah, should be good.
It is.
3 white lights at 160 kilos for Su Ching Hung. Next weight on the bar, 195 kilos, Erica Bueno, Brazil. Hilda Haugen and Daniela Kolesnik, get ready.
Just taking a 5 kilo
Erica
increase.
Bueno, 195.
Kilos, Erica Bueno, Brazil.
This should be a new personal best.
Very nice 10 kilo addition.
Yeah.
Posição do agachamento para sacar. Posição do agachamento. Enche. Já matou.
195 kilograms on the bar.
Isso. Giramos. Tá certinho. Fica
She
dura.
doesn't look super confident under the weight. That can often change once you get that command. Sinks it in nicely. Sinks it in very, very well.
3 white lights and a good leg for Erica, 195 kilos.
And she gets that one on the board.
The bar is 205. This is for Hilda Haugen of Norway. Daniela Kolesnik and Anna Ryshkova, get ready. Bar is loaded, 205 kilos, Hilda
So
Haugen.
205 goes on the bar for Hilda Mikkelsen from Norway. 205 kilograms. Just shy of a personal best. We've got a couple of big lifts coming up.
Yeah, some fireworks at the end. Stay in touch.
Tati Shri is going to have a crack at the world record.
There's 3 of them going to have a go at the world record.
Taylor LaChapelle's going to have a look.
Oh, that was comfortable. Was it deep enough?
Plenty of speed on it. Was it deep enough? That's an excellent question because it just didn't
Yes, it
quite
was.
near. But from where the referees are sitting, it looked good. All 3 white lights.
Daniela Kolesnik of Russia.
Daniela Kolesnik from Russia now, 205.
Is the bar loaded? The bar is loaded. 205 kilos, Daniela Kolesnik of Russia.
Two 205 on the bar for a personal best.
Yeah.
It was plenty fast enough. And she gets that one on the board as well.
Kilos, 215 is the next weight on the bar. This is for Anna Ryshkova of Russia, Ellie Steele and Taylor LaChapelle to get ready.
Now we move to Anna Ryshkova for 215.
Russia.
She missed 212, so she got up 2.5 kilo.
Yeah, just added a couple more
215.
kilos to it. Just
Yeah.
maybe it can push her down through that through the wraps a little bit.
Well, her personal best is 220.
Yeah, so
Counter
she's
per
no
12.
stranger to the weight.
Yeah.
You know, she's been lifting consistently in the 220s, the 215s for a couple of years now. Takes her time very well, gets set up. Now, she handled the weight really well. Did it push her down further enough? And it didn't. And that's unfortunately no lift for her. So we'll go to 217.5 now for Ellie Steele from Great Britain.
Get ready. Bar loaded, 217.5 kilos for Ellie Steele, Great Britain.
Squatted well, opening with 200,
Yeah,
and
she's
went
been
210.
going very well so far.
Another 7.5 kilo increase. And based on a second attempt, you think this will go?
Yeah, they've all been moving really well so
Yeah.
far. I mean, the first two squats she did moved very cleanly. Nothing seemed to be bothering her too much.
Again, that looks strong.
Yeah, and again, I mean, she just doesn't look phased by anything. And she gets the 3 white lights.
Punch the air. She's happy.
So right now, Taylor LaChapelle, 222.5 for his world junior record. 222.5. And you know it's a tough field when you're breaking a world record and it still might not even get you a gold medal in the squat.
Not at all.
That is a tough field, isn't it?
And it certainly is.
You know it's going to be a hard day at the office when the only way to get a gold medal is to break a record. And even then you might not get the gold medal.
No.
But here we go, 222.5. She's going to take it for a spin.
Oh, that was easy.
It was very quick, very easy. Was it deep enough? No, it wasn't.
She just cut it short.
Just missed out there.
The power was there.
Yeah, she certainly didn't have any problem with the weight. But 225 goes in the bar for Kenya Montserrat, which is equal to the world record.
Only by Hartati 3. And then there'll be a 10-minute break at the end of this round.
So if she gets this one, she temporarily has the gold medal.
Why not 25.5?
Yeah, it's always an interesting choice.
Did the coach not realize?
Yeah, look, it's always a tough call. I mean, and sometimes you make a decision, do I go for a world record or do I go for the gold medal?
2.5 you can understand, but 0.5 was kilo.
Yeah, and it depends. I mean, that 0.5 per kilo, in a lot of cases, yeah, it's only 0.5 per kilo. In some cases, that feels like half a ton.
Possible.
You know, and it's a couple of athletes I coached quite a while back, and I put made the decision not to go to the 0.5, and when they lifted the lift, they got the lift, but the 0.5 would have broken them.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting decision, but 225, equaling the world record.
It's good, it's strong. Was it deep enough?
And she
got
gets
it
on the board. 225 is on the board. But hold on to your seats.
Yeah.
Get your chips and drinks. Ring your cowbells and make some noise because we've got a world record of 226 from Hatati 3.
She's going for it.
226. It'll be the gold medal in the squat. It'll be the world record.
Just making sure the bar is clean.
And I believe it is her world record. 226.
World record attempt.
So right now, Montserrat is in the gold medal position. Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah. This will give her
So this will
the
give
gold.
her the gold.
in the squat and the world record as well. No.
But just a little bit too much today. Just didn't quite get the speed out of the bottom there. But she will take the gold medal in the squat. LaChapelle will take the silver and Steele will take the bronze in the squat. Don't go anywhere. We've got a 10-minute break and these ladies are going to be right back out entertaining us on the bench press. Welcome back to all the action here in Dubai for the 2019 IPF World Open Powerlifting Championships. And of course, we have got the bench press getting underway, and probably one of the most technical lifts of all the lifts. And I mean technical by all the things you need to remember as an athlete. Everything you've got to really think about. I mean, you've got head on the bench, feet on the floor. There's so many things that can go wrong. We'll quickly take you through some of those things, especially if you're new to the sport and you want to understand some of the rules a little bit. This is without a doubt the lift that you've got to think the most. You've got so many things to remember. Your feet have to be flat on the floor. Your butt has to stay in touch. The elbows have to be locked. There's so many things you can fail for. So if you see a blue card, it's elbows locking. You've got to wait for the start command. So that's a yellow card if you get that wrong. If you don't touch the chest properly, that's a red card. So the bar has to come to the chest. You've got to wait for that press command. If the bar dips, it has to continue in an upward motion. And the elbows have to lock when you complete the lift as well. So they have to be locked at the start, locked at the finish, and then you've got to wait for a rack command as well. And of course, you have to stay in contact with the bench. The head has to stay in contact. The shoulders, the butt, all have to stay in contact with the bench. So that can be a yellow card if you miss that as well. All these things the athlete has to think about in regards to the bench. So you don't just have to lift on this one. You've got to think about all these things as well. It's probably the toughest technical lift there is.
Yeah. There's so many points for disqualification. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the other lifts, you're really focusing on lifting. This one, you're focusing on lifting, and you're focusing on all these other things that you have to really consider
and
as
you
well.
still then have to apply force.
Yeah, and that's right. And you still got to apply the force as well. So your feet have to stay flat on the floor. They can shift a little bit, but they've got to stay flat.
Can't lift off the floor. Yeah, correct.
And of course, fantastic competition, fantastic venue here. AFLI have done an amazing job. If you can see what this venue looks like, it's just absolutely fantastic. And of course, Alico continually raising the bar. We've got the brand new Alico rack design out there. The extra friction on the bench, the narrower safety rails as well to give the athletes a bit more room between the safety rails and the weight plates. Provides them that, it just gives them that little bit more confidence when they're lifting. In the old racks they were fantastic, but there was just that sort of couple of centimeters between, and sometimes you can just feel a little bit cramped. They've addressed that, they've narrowed it. It's a fantastic piece of equipment.
They're thinking about the lifter all the time. I'm like I said, they have many discussions with the coach commission, and they really ask questions.
That's right.
And take advice.
And they've
really
added other things, thinking about the spotted as well.
Yep.
But right now, Adriana Marina from Costa Rica looking for 70 kilos to open her bench press campaign. And you can see that was a really good example, though, of the elbows locked at the finishing position there. 3 white lights.
Again, a lot of lifters intend to start with the elbow locked, and then when they finish, it is not loose.
It's just that little extra bit. You've got to finish in that start position. Weili Yu from Hong Kong, 70 kilograms. Dr. Rip there.
Yeah. She's doing a good job on the executive. Just been really re-elected. A board member at the Congress.
Yep, re-elected. Fantastic. Gets a nice touch.
Yeah, drives through.
Good speed. Very good speed off the chest there.
We talked about this yesterday. The initial drive is slightly backward.
Yeah, I mean if you're pushing, one of the ways I explain to some of my athletes is, if you try and push something straight up a wall, it's really hard to do. Push it up a hill, it's a little bit easier. And it's the same sort of idea. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit different, but the concept's the same. You get a little bit of momentum from that backward movement as well. And the way our body's designed,
the chest muscle, shoulder muscle, all into play.
And the way our body's designed, if we're pushing straight up or shifting it a little bit forward, then all of a sudden we've got all these other muscles that have to come into play to try and control and stabilize. So Hiro Bushigami from Japan now, looking for 82.5. Of course, Japan has a fantastic history of bench press.
pressing.
I was going to say they've set the benchmark for bench press. But I've clearly been told by the production company that that's not funny.
That looks good. Should be a good opener for it. Yep.
Yeah, 3 white lights. And the other thing you might notice on the bench press, so we talked about it the other day, you've also got, that we forgot to mention, you have 81 centimetre marking rings on the bar. The furthest out your hand can go is that your pointer finger is covering those rings. So you'll see some of the lifters, they're adjusting that wrist position to try and get as much as
Maximum
they
as
can
possible.
to reduce that range of motion. And you've sort of got to find the balance between range of motion and still being able to generate power. As you know, the most powerful position is to have that bar directly over the forearm. So right now, Eva Buxbaum for 85. Drags it down to the chest. Really had to work to get the touch there. And let's see what the referees say. Yes, it's no lift. You got the 2 blue cards there.
You said not locked out. I noticed that you said, Gary, you pull the bar down to the chest. Yeah, and don't let it come down. You control it, but you start to pull the weight down.
Yeah, it's a really tough thing. You've got to hold the weight, and at the same time
you've
you've got to pull the weight.
And because it's such a small.
Yeah, so you're controlling that weight, trying to bring it down to your chest through the stretch of the shirt. And it's really tough because the weight is also pushing you down, but you're trying to control it.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a lift and a pull all at the same time.
This is why this training is so important. These things have been tried in training.
Equipped lifting is, it takes a very, very long time to really master it.
So again,
Aline
pulling it
Sabati.
down, yeah. Drive to it. This looks good.
And it should be a good lift. It is. Yuki Terada now 92.5. Yeah, it takes a very long time to master the equipment in equipped lifting.
Yeah. But like we say before, you need to train it. You
Yeah,
can't just go and buy some equipment and just put it on. And
yeah, a lot of
compete.
people think if I throw on a bench shirt, I'll add an extra 30 kilos to my bench.
No.
And that would be absolutely lovely if it worked like that.
It'd be nice.
Usually the first time you throw a bench shirt on, you almost decapitate yourself with a bar. So 92.5 for Yuki Terada.
And this is 10 kilo below her personal best.
Yeah, so it's a good conservative opening lift. And you can see she's just fighting the way that shirt wants to pull. And the way you develop the power out of that shirt is to stop it going the direction it wants to go.
You the control, totally.
Yeah, I mean, in most cases, the shirt has a tendency to want to pull the bar back towards your head, and you've got to try and beat that, and that's going to develop the power out of the shirt.
The bar is loaded and clock started. Jejula Ramalakshmi of India.
Ramalakshmi from India, 100 kilograms.
Her PB and her profile is 115.
Yeah, look, be interesting if we get a side angle here. I mean, a lot of the Indian benches in the past, particularly the men, have very flat positions. And she handled that very well. Gets it on the board. Caroline Soon from France, looking for 110.
Unfortunately, she didn't make made a squat.
Yeah, very disappointing.
Yeah.
You know, it just goes to show, I mean, it doesn't matter how experienced you are, how many comps you've done.
Yeah.
Every single comp is different. Every international is different. You can practice something in training in a gym a million times over, but when you walk out there on the world stage, everything changes.
Everything changed. Correct.
And how many times do you walk on that platform in your career and you've just forgotten everything you practiced?
Literally. Goes out the window.
So 110. Let's hope she can have a better performance on the bench.
Oh, did the butt come up? Something
Yeah,
moved, I saw.
I'm not sure if it came off. It moved. She got one red light and a yellow card, which is for that butt lifting.
Normally.
But she got the 2 white lights, and that's enough.
You know she was fortunate. She's very fortunate.
Yeah, sometimes it goes your way. Melody Antoinard from France, looking for 120 kilograms. Well shy of her personal best.
Yeah, 20 kilo below.
Taking her time getting set up there. You can see how much she's reducing that range of motion.
Yes.
It's a good touch. And
good.
that should be a good lift. And it is on the board. You can see she gets that chest up super high to reduce that range of motion and limits the movement throughout the body as much as she can there. Wiley Yu, 75 kilograms. All the way from Hong Kong.
5 kilo increase from our first attempt, 70. And still 5 kilo below her personal best.
So still got a little bit of breathing space. And from this angle, it looked like it moved a little forward and dropped a little. Let's wait and see. We might see a better angle on the. Yeah, she gets the 2 red lights with the blue cards there.
It looked as if it just come down slightly to me.
Yeah.
When I
We might be able to see on the replay on this angle here. It looks like she pushed a little bit forward. It's a good touch. And you can see, her right arm there shifts forward. And once it sort of shifts in that forward direction, you're certainly not going to be able to pull it back up again. Adriana Moreno, Costa Rica, is looking for 80 kilograms.
Just really equal her personal best. She opened with 70. She had to fight it.
Yeah, she just didn't really get a lot of speed off the chest.
No.
She gets it to lock out.
Yeah. As long as he didn't come back
Yeah,
down
look,
again, it should
from
be
this
okay.
angle, but
Yeah,
no, she's
the
got
buttocks
the
move.
2 red lights, so the butt has come off the bench.
Again,
with look.
Yeah.
Lotus Notable 85 kg for box 1 Eva of Denmark. Bar 0 to 10 clock started.
She really had to fight, and when you've got to fight that hard, that's when things start to lift and shift around. Yeah, it came up and it kept coming up.
Most time you sign the 2-side referee will give the yellow because they can see. The center referee looks directly at the head. Find it very difficult.
Unless you have really solid, obvious hip movement. The center referee generally can't see that. Eva Buxbom now from Denmark looking for 85. Missed it on her opening lift.
Should be comfortable. Her opener PB is 95.
Better speed off the chest that time.
That looks better.
Let's see what the referees say. It's a good lift.
Lotus Notable now 87.5 kg for
Yeah, it looked a lot better. A little bit tough for her to get it down to her chest there. You can see just trying to hold that line.
Is she quite low down the stomach, you think? Than normal?
Yeah, I mean, an equipped bench is always a lot different. I mean, some people will actually pull it down a lot lower on their chest, almost to their stomach region, and really use that
drive
J
from it.
sort of shape to drive it back up. Hiro Fushigama from Japan, looking for 87.5. And a successful opening lift at 82.5.
Yeah, still below a personal best, which is 92.5. So
Yeah, giving herself some breathing space and some room to move.
that's good.
It looks like a very good lift.
That bar came just below the storium, so
Yeah,
that you would
so
say
you're
that's
looking-
about the...
Yeah, quite often you're looking at sort of diaphragm area, just below the pectoral region, a little bit further down than what you'd usually do for a raw lift. And I mean, bear in mind, every lift is a little bit different as well, but they often use that to really sort of get the movement in the shoulder out of the shirt as well. Marlene Sabate from Austria, 92.5. This is dead even with her personal best.
Yep.
Really working it down. Gets the touch. A lot of work there. Probably would have liked it to have moved a bit faster off her chest, I think. But she gets the lift. Doesn't matter if it's pretty. Yuki Terada looking for 95. Still below her best.
She's just gone 2.5 kilo. Just make sure she pick everything she can get. Don't get too much. She could have gone 5 maybe.
And it's something we talk about all the time.
Yeah,
The bench press isn't somewhere we're going to make up
No.
20 or 30 kilos and try and catch someone.
Bill.
It's just that this is your opportunity to chip away. So your target is to get that 3 from 3, not go for anything massive. See you push that chest up there to try and bring the chest to the bar.
And drive it.
And it works very well
that
for
looks
her.
good.
It works very, very well.
Loaders, load bar 107.5 kg. Jajuda, Ram Lakshmi of India. The bar is loaded.
Ramalashimi from India, 107.5.
Next up there is Sunny Carolina of France, followed by the presenter, the Melody of France.
Had a good opening lift at 100.
Yeah, it was very good. So
Now looking at 107.5, which is still 7.5 away from her personal best. So she's got plenty of confidence coming into this one. She's handled this weight before.
oh,
Yeah, look,
got
probably
the drive, but
probably touched a little bit high on her chest there,
Yeah.
and you might have seen that on her shirt. You can actually see the chalk mark from the previous lift, which is about 1.5 inches lower than where she touched on that one.
talk us through this one. And she brought it. She
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
look a bit- Then
Look,
she
you can
gone
see
straight back.
already when she's hit the chest there, her elbows are already sticking out. And as she got up there, when you saw it from the original, you could see a chalk mark from where the bar had touched on her first lift, and it was about 1.5 inches below where it touched
Yeah,
on that
so
lift. So she
it's
sort
off the
of
line.
missed the spot there.
And it's a very, very narrow line area.
Yeah, I mean, 1 or 2 centimeters either side can
You
make
can
all
lose
the
it, yeah.
difference. Caroline Soon from France, 115 kilograms. And just
No,
struggling with that
second
one.
Is that just a case of maybe too heavy, a little bit
Yeah,
too
look,
heavy?
it's well above her personal best. Yeah, and but this is one of the coolest things about equipped lifting, is that, so that looked too heavy. It looks like, oh, she's not going to get that. And in raw lifting, I mean, there's not much you can do except go out and try again. In equipped lifting, you go at the back,
And
they'll
you can
make some
a slight
adjustments, they'll pull the shirt down a
Yeah,
little bit,
we talked
maybe
about
twist.
this yesterday.
Yeah, and you can see lifters come out and absolutely smoke their third lift. Melody Antoinade from France, 135.
Yeah, this is 5 kilo below her personal best. She opened it with 120.
Well, she's an accountant, so I imagine she's done the numbers.
So done the figures.
135. Yeah, getting right up on those shoulders. I'm trying to get all the levers lined up.
She drops the hip down, but she must keep that hip on the bench throughout the lift.
Yeah, good technique, good use of the pathway of the bar there.
Yes.
You can see, you know, we might be able to see in the replay here, she makes really good use of that sort of curvature of the path. So she sort of brings it down with a little bit of a curve and then sort of slides it back and up, almost that J position. Adriana Moreno, Costa Rica, for her third attempt, looking for 80. She missed it on her second. It's a dead even personal best. So it'll be interesting to see how this one looks compared to a second. What sort of adjustments have they made? It's a good touch. Yeah, but pushed forward a little bit at the start there. I don't think it went down.
No, it didn't.
And she managed to somehow recover that. And see what the referees say. It's a good lift. And if we have a look at the replay, we'll see she sort of... We won't be looking at the replay. We'll just been informed there is no replay for that one. It's always excellent timing. It's usually when I'm really wanting to look at the replay. Right now, Wiley Yu from Hong Kong looking for 80 kilograms.
Yeah, she also missed 75, so she can up 5 kilo.
Yeah, I mean,
she's confident. Her personal best is 80 anyway, so...
I mean, that's something you rarely see in raw lifting, but we see it quite commonly
like you said before,
lifting.
Because the adjustment to
it
make
can be.
equipment.
You know, particularly if you have a lifter go out for a lift and they just struggle to get it to the shirt.
Yeah.
But again,
no,
it didn't
first
quite
movement
work.
just drive forward. That's what I noticed.
Yeah,
is that correct?
She's not really driving back on it. You know, we might be able to see on the replay on this one. She gets a nice touch. She gets it down to the chest well, but drove straight up a little bit forward.
So again, the trick is that the first movement must be slightly backwards.
Got to have that slightly backward movement, get the momentum going.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing with equipped bench press too is, I mean, you really need that speed off the chest, but then you've got to really chase that as well. You know, and if you let it get away from you, basically you're going to get the boost off the chest with a little bit of power from the shirt, and then nothing. So you've got to really make sure you're with it all the time.
Yeah. And again, when you say chest, you talk about the big chest muscle, which is the power, the power source.
Yeah, the big pectoral muscles.
Yeah.
Eva Boxbaum from Denmark, 87.5.
She's driving it.
Can she lock it out?
Lock the arms. Has she locked the arms? Let's see.
It looked on the right side looks good. Left side I couldn't see quite clearly.
2-1.
2-1. She gets a red light from the centre referee, which I imagine is probably her head lifting because they've got a yellow card.
Because she can't see the butt from. She? Is it she? Yes. She can't see the butt from there.
She could have seen a little bit of movement in the head, possibly. I mean, we can't see from here.
Anyway, she's got
but she gets it on the board. Hiro Fushigami from Japan now looking for 90 kilograms. see that wrist position there, trying to get as much distance as she can so she reduce the range of motion. And it looks like it's worked quite well. It has. She gets it on the board. Yeah, she's got a good example of looking how they're deviating that wrist to try and get as much as you can. You know, and again, that's another thing that takes a lot of technique, a lot of practice, and you've got to find the balance because you reduce the pathway of the power. Marlene Sabati, Austria, 95 kilograms.
This will be a new personal best for us. She's achieved her personal best and equal her on her second attempt. She's 92.5. Now she's going for 2.5 kilo increase.
Yeah, it's a nice little increase. Nothing over the top. Yeah, I mean, she's moving into uncharted territory now with 95 kilograms. She was slow off the chest, but she managed to continue the speed and get the acceleration going, and she gets it on the board. She's pretty happy with that one. So we move to Yuki Terada now, 100 kilograms. Just shy of her personal best. Really having to find that line. And
that's
it
good.
Looks like she's got it. She gets a great lockout. She's really obvious on her lock at the top. You know, she's not giving the referees anything to question with those elbows. Do you want my elbows locked? There you go.
There they are.
So we go to 107.5 now. Ramalashmi from India. So she missed this on her second. And it really looked like it was just landing the bar in a different spot.
In relation to her first attempt.
Yeah, so let's have a close look on this one. See where she puts the bar on this one. See if it's a little bit lower. Yeah, that was a fraction lower than the second one.
But this,
just couldn't quite get that left-hand side going.
Yes, unfortunately with blue.
Yeah, so unfortunately, two blue lights.
But she got one white.
Well, I think, there's always the light for the effort.
Did
That's the effort light.
Did the referee press the wrong button? Possibility.
Quite possibly. But you can see that lift there. That was okay. It was a failed lift, but it was a lot better than her second attempt. She landed a lot better, but it just couldn't get the timing right. So Carolyn Soon now for 115. Again, she missed this one on her second. Just sort of came off the chest in the wrong direction. Now, we talked about going at the back, making some adjustments.
Yep.
Let's see what they've done. A lot faster off the chest.
Yeah.
Did it keep moving up?
Did he upward or did he come down again? Let's have a look.
No, it didn't. 3 white lights. And if you look at her second lift, her second lift looked like it was just too much and it wasn't going to happen. Go at the back, make a few adjustments.
Come back,
and absolutely nail your
the lift. Yeah.
Third attempt.
So that's a basic difference between classic lifting.
Yeah, look, in classic lifting,
lifting,
when you hit that second attempt and you can't move it, there's not much you can do. I mean, all you can do is hope that you can maybe time it better and get it moving better, but there's not a whole lot you can do. Melody Antoinard from France, 142.5. A monster bench press for this weight class. See how high she's getting up on those shoulders, trying to get them under as far as she can. Yeah, she wants...
That is to get the weight over the shoulders.
Yeah,
so
you want the pathway of the power in a row. I mean, the strongest push is when everything is lined up.
She's pushing it through. No,
and
just
you
drift.
can see just got her back there
Drift,
a little bit.
yeah.
But a fantastic effort. I mean, 142.5 was a massive lift too. She moved it well off her chest, then it just starts to shift back out of that alignment, and all of a sudden, instead of just having to push, you've also got to try and pull it back forward again. So we move into our second flight now. Si Ching Hung, Chinese Taipei, 80 kilograms.
Yeah, she did a counter her profile was 210 in the squat. She finished with 160. We couldn't quite understand. What about the bench press? What she's got? She's got 100. She's starting at 80.
She's starting at 80, so that's a good conservative opener. And moved very, very well.
Very easy opener.
Yeah, very fast opening lift there. Managed that very well. Kenya Montserrat from Ecuador, 120.
Yeah, now she's starting 5 kilo above her profile.
Opening on a personal best.
But again, we said the profile may not be updated.
Yeah, it may not be updated. You know, and also training has been going very, very well.
Yes, that's also where.
You know, I mean, by rule of thumb, we generally say, you know, open on a number that you can do if someone calls you in the middle of the night.
Yeah. But if your training program has
yeah,
gone well,
the information we get,
yeah,
and that could well be a past personal best, but 6 months worth of training.
that's good.
That looked very good. And the referees say it's good too. So she puts it on the board. Taylor LaChapelle from the USA, 20 years old.
Yeah, just missed the world record on the squats.
You know, look, and if you look at the predicted totals, you know, obviously, you know, they're just predicted totals. She's the one to beat.
Yep.
And she's a
Still
junior.
got 3 years. 3 years to go in the
She's still
juniors.
got 3 years in the juniors. And here she is in the opens, sending a message to the rest of the 57 kilo women.
She's arrived big time.
It's the touch.
And the backward drive.
And
no, what happened there?
look,
Did
you
she
can see
overdone it?
No, look, I think what happened there, you can see as the bar came to her chest, it almost looked like she lost a little bit of tightness and relaxed a little bit. As you see the bar come down, she's pulling, and then all of a sudden it's there. And so
she lost it just there.
So as she's put it to the chest, the shirt's decided, well, this is where we're going. So as she's pushed it back, the shirt's taking control again. You know, that's just a tiny little adjustment out the back, and you know, she'll come out for the second, and it'll look completely different.
Yeah, it's just people watching at home, you know, and think, well, you know.
Yeah, I mean, equip lifting is very technical and very strategic as well.
All we're saying that it's a case that you have to learn how to use the equipment.
Yeah, it's a long process. Hilda Mikkelsen from Norway, 130.
She's 28 years old, a teacher. I bet all our students who are watching.
I imagine all the students are at home watching this one. Gets the touch.
Very efficient.
Yeah, she does a very good job of reducing that range of motion. Yeah, so she's not having to shift the bar a long way.
To be attempted by Sri Harpati of Indonesia.
Harpati 3 from Indonesia, 130.
Followed by Rizakova
Her
of
best, as per her profile, is 140. So it should be a comfortable opener for her.
Yeah, she shouldn't have too much trouble with this one. Yeah, she has plenty of experience lifting as well.
Yeah, 18 years of it.
This is not her first time. Certainly not her first rodeo. And give you an idea of how strong these girls are. The world record is 163. Super fast.
I missed
That was textbook.
Bang.
Absolute textbook equipped bench right there. Got the speed off the chest, chased it all the way through, and really used that momentum. So we load to 137.5 for Ellie Steele now from Great Britain.
Again,
Opening on a personal best.
As per her profile, she's equal in her opener.
Opening equal to a
Which
personal
is a big
best.
bench, I know this, so we expect to see a big bench here from her today. She was telling me that her training gone really well. Oh, yes.
And another textbook lift.
Again, you can see the first initial movement. Then, bang, over.
All the way back. And you can see speed off the chest.
Control
Takes
it.
the line, sticks with the line all the way. Speed off the chest. And you can see the drive through the whole body on that one. She's pushed through with the legs.
Good question. You said the whole body. Because
Whole body.
The feet move as well. The feet drive to the hips.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly
Shoot
right. And a lot
right
of people don't realise that the bench is a full body lift.
Yeah.
Anna Ryzhkova from Russia, 140.
This is just 2.5 kilos below her personal best.
And again, as with the squats, the bench press is going to be tough to get a medal in. You are going to have
to earn it.
You are going to have to work for it. There are no freebies in this one. She's really taking her time there. And
what's happened?
She's been re-racked without enough time, and now she's timed out.
Yeah.
So it's timed out now.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's realised.
What? The clock's on 0.
Yeah, now they've realised. So this is one of the problems with having a long setup, is that when something goes wrong,
you haven't got time
you
to
don't
make
have
the
time to
adjustment.
reset. You need to giving yourself time, and it's all well and good saying, I do it right every single time in the gym, but you're doing it right every single time without 3 international referees checking it. So unfortunate, but she'll still got 2 attempts up her sleeve. Daniela Kolesnik from Russia now, 147.5. And it's not like the Russian team to make that sort of mistake.
Not normally.
That wide stance, we're seeing a lot more of an equipped lifting. That should be a good lift.
Should be.
We had to work a little harder than she'd like for an opening lift, but she gets it on the board.
When you say wide stance, you mean her feet's a lot wider.
Yeah.
And that's allow the hips to...
Yeah, so it does 2 things. I mean, so enables her to get into that really big arch position and keep the hips down. But the other thing it does too is creates that a little bit more stability in the body as well. And when you're talking about weights of 140 kilos, when you weigh 57, if you've got a really close foot position, if the bar shifts in any direction, you just cannot control it. So that wide stance increases the stability as well because you're increasing that base of support. Right now, Erica Buono from Brazil, 147.5.
This is 7.5 kilo below her personal best. Had a good squat of 195. Carrying forward. Okay, coached
And
by
big
David.
man David there, yelling some instructions. Oh,
Looks
fantastic lift. Absolutely fantastic. 3 white lights. And you can see on the replay there, plenty of speed, drives it back, and then you can see those triceps really engaged to lock it out. So we come around to the second attempts now in the second group. Thi Ching Hung from Chinese Taipei looking for 87.5.
She got an easy opener, 80.
Yeah, it moved really quickly. I don't think 87.5 is going to cause it too much distress.
Not based on her opener.
Well, I'll just take my foot out of my mouth now. And apparently it did cause us some distress. Let's have a look at we get to see the replay with any chance.
But I'm also looking at her feet, very close to the bars. Yeah, so you would advise her to widen her feet a little bit more.
Yeah, look, I mean, if that position works for her, that's fine.
That's okay.
I think really what happened there, I mean, you saw the bar come down to her chest really fast. So I don't think there was a whole lot of tension in that shirt. And it just didn't get the speed off the chest. Taylor LaChapelle from the USA, 120. Missed it on her opener. This is an important lift. I mean, missing that opener in the position she's in, that few kilos that she's not going to get now, is that the few kilos that has opened the door
to let
for someone to come through and steal
so she need to
an
nail
opportunity from her. And she's just having trouble finding that line. She's done all the work. She's got one shot left at this one. I have no doubt they'll go back out there, make the right adjustment, and she'll be fine on the third lift. I mean, this is not that unusual in equipped lifting. To miss first, miss second, and then nail your third. But the problem for her is she's done all this work. This is 5, maybe 10 kilos she's going to miss out on adding to that total. And it's just going to open the door for, Kolesnik to come through, Steele to come through. Kenya Montserrat from Ecuador, 125.
This will be a new personal best for her. She already achieved her personal best at 120, which was her opener.
Yeah, and you can already see,
the gap beginning to develop a little bit.
If you look at the predicted totals, Sri now has moved in predicted totals already ahead of LaChapelle because she's got that first and having that second attempt.
Oh, that looks good.
Great. Super fast, super smooth, and super white lights.
She got more in the tank, isn't it? At least on that 2.5. There is possible 5.
Yeah, there's plenty left of room to move there. Hilda Mikkelsen from Norway, 137.5.
Should be a new personal best for her. Her personal best is 135.
So she moved 130 well. Yeah, and we know Hilda can bench.
Oh, she can. She's a competitor, for sure.
Really taking her time there. Yeah, squeezing that bar, getting her shoulders dug in. Great position though, so she doesn't have to move it too far.
Lock the arms, lock the elbow. She got it.
It was a bit tougher than the first one, but I think she's got it. She has. She gets the 2 white lights. That was a very, very quick replay, quick lift. Anna Rashkova from Russia now, 140. Now she missed this because she timed out on her opener. So she set up, her fingers were outside the rings. The referee got them to re-rack and move them back in. And then she timed out. And as we said, I mean, that's a pretty unusual mistake for the Russian team.
Again, she's taking the time to come out. She's not running out. You think she would learn from the first attempt? Well, she still got 30 seconds.
Not getting themselves ready there. And, you know, and 30 seconds is fine unless something goes wrong again. And, you know, you put pressure on yourself when you're rushing it.
15 seconds. Should be okay.
Gets the start command this time. And she's having to work hard.
Push the elbow through, the right arm.
She needs to lock that right out. There it is.
Yep.
Locks it. That should be a good lift. It is. You know, and you can see that 140 probably should have been a much easier lift for her, but because she had to run out,
literally
race her setup, there's so much other stress involved, and you're thinking about all these sorts of things that it can go wrong. It was harder than it probably should have been. Hatati 3 from Indonesia now looking at 140.
And this will equal her personal best. She had a fantastic squat, 217.5. Did she went after the world record? Or not?
I believe she did. So 140 on the bar. Looked good on our opener at 130. 10 kilos is a fairly reasonable sized jump. And she gets it back to the top. And it is. She gets 2 white lights. She got the red light with a yellow and a blue.
With the blue mean that it was unlocked at the end. Downward movement.
Yeah, blue's generally downward movement. And the yellow's lifting. But we have 3 referees for a reason. And a jury as well. Ellie Steele, Great Britain, 145. A big personal best.
She opened up with 137.5. That was easy. So
let's see how the 145 looks. And you spoke to her earlier. She said your training's going well.
She spoke yesterday. She said, yeah, she was very happy. Oh, yes.
Her training has clearly been going very well because that looked very good.
She's been working with Aaron Singh as our coach, and obviously they've been working together for a long time.
Well, it's working very well. So we've got a world record attempt now. Daniela Kolesnik from Russia.
Junior world record, is it?
Yes, the junior world record.
Oh yes, she's 20 years old.
We'll be at 155. It's a big, big lift. Moved well off a chair. She's had to work. She gets to the top. Did it dip? It did dip So it's 3 red lights, unfortunately. But she's given herself a position where she can come out on a third and have another crack at that. So Erika Bjorno now looking for 155.
If she clears this,
Just to say, the open world record is 160,
world record of 153 kg.
165, yeah?
I thought the open world record was 163, but apparently,
Said 165.5, yeah?
sorry, 153 is the open world record.
Oh, is
So
it? I'm looking at the wrong side,
155.5
sorry.
is going to be a
Apology.
world record from Erika Buono. You know it's tough competition. We saw it in the squats. You're going to have a crack at a world record for a gold medal, and you're still not guaranteed. And in the
Nope.
bench press, nothing's changed. You're going to take a crack at a world record for a gold medal, and you still might not get it. So 155.5, and putting that chip on to add to a total at the end. Having to really work it through.
It's going.
Oh, I think she might have it. Did it keep going straight up? Was
right
there a dip in
arm
the bar?
Come down.
It did
Yeah.
as well. She got 2 red lights. Disappointing. But this is the standard of this competition, that the only way you're going to get into those medals is go after world records. And even then, you might not get
guaranteed.
it.
Now the standard is high.
Ching Hung, Chinese Taipei, 87.5.
She missed this on her second.
Yeah, I mean, look, she's got a personal best of 100. Her 80 was like a warm-up lift. We both expected the 87.5 not to cause any problems at all. And it was a bit of a problem. And I just saw Erika Bjorno's coach take a wander over to the jury and have a chat. But I don't see any movement from the jury, so I imagine that decision is going to stand. And it looks like Hung is not coming out for this lift, and she's going to let that time down.
Yeah.
87.5. We talked about it earlier that she was squatting a lot lighter than her personal best.
Yeah, is this
Was she carrying
there?
a sort of injury? And really, she's just putting the numbers on the board now to get the points for the team. And that'll time down. So we'll move to the next lifter, and you will see people make that decision and leave their attempt in there as a sportsmanship thing to do to make sure everyone gets that minute rest.
There has been discussion that whether the rule will change, I don't know, in future. So that if you're not taking it, you must indicate to the jury you're not taking it. But at the moment, that's the rule. You can let it run.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them will leave it on there to give the other athletes that minute rest.
Extra minute.
I mean, if you get 2 people that decide to scratch their lifts, all of a sudden that's 2 minutes less rest.
Yeah, when you got television and things like that.
So Taylor LaChapelle in a world of trouble here. Has to get this lift. It's a do or die lift, and she
got it up.
Does. She gets it to the top. Looks completely
well
different.
Indeed.
Saves her skin and saves her competition, because she's put herself in such a great position with those squats. And now she's going to have some work to do in the deadlift to close those gaps again. What a save, though. And you look at those first 2 lifts.
Do you want to leave it to the last lift?
Yeah, and you're looking at the first 2 thinking, what is she going to do? What else can they do? Kenya Montserrat now 130.
She got her PB and her profile as 115. So this is a big personal best if she's successful.
Well, her previous 2 lifts have looked very good. Came down very uneven, but it doesn't have to be even.
No.
And she gets the 2 white lights, that's enough.
Next
And she handled that weight very well. Hilda Mikkelsen from Norway, 140.
Yeah, she was successful, 137.5. She increased it by 2.5.
And she's been looking very, very
Yeah.
good on the bench.
She squatted 205, so she's having a good day so far.
Let's see if she can go 3 from 3 on the bench. Takes her time getting those hands into position. Certainly not easy to spread your hands across the bar with a shirt
With
on.
the shirt on. But again, she give herself plenty of time.
Yeah, she's got plenty of time
set it
to
up.
get it right.
That
Gets
looks
it to
good.
the chest well.
That looks better than the second
It
attempt.
looked pretty fast. It looked like she had a bit of a smile when it got to
She
the
got
top
it.
as well. And she gets the 2 white lights. That's what
Skip
you
on the
need.
job.
Anna Ruskova, 145. Timed out on her opener. Got the 140 on the second. Was a little bit rushed and looked a little bit tougher than it should have.
Yeah.
And you can see the difference now. Look, here she is out on time.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time to set up.
51 seconds on the clock. And this will be a personal best for her.
Yeah, she's not having to rush this time. That's a better setup. Plenty of time. And it was just a little bit too much. She got it moving off the chest fairly well, but then it just slowed right down. Yeah, and that's also probably partly, she's probably a little bit more fatigued with everything that's going on by those first 2 lifts. Tati Sri from Indonesia, 145.
This will be a personal best. Our personal best is on her profile is 140.
So this will temporarily roll her up into the bronze medal for the bench.
She can take her from 4th to 3rd. But there's still about 3 lifts to go. Yeah,
she's got a replacement call there.
Again, it's set the arms, the hands are too wide.
Yeah, it's again fingers out too far. She's still got 10 seconds.
She got there. It's really 5, 4.
Gets it just in time.
Yes, that
and
was good.
She did not let that rattle her at all. And she gets the 3 white lights, stayed calm, fixed the problem. So Ellie Steele now, Great Britain, 150.
What a series. Started at 137.5, then went 145, and now an increase of 5 kilo for a big personal best.
On any given day, 150 would bring you pretty close to a gold medal, but today that's going to be tough. So but this will temporarily move her into the gold medal position.
Take her from 4th to 1st for the moment.
We got 2 lifters ahead of her, all both looking at world records. And that's a pretty good lift.
Lift to me.
Yeah, gets another board. Now that was a really good decision there. She's hit 150, puts her in the gold medal position, and she knows the next 2 lifters have failed the 155 on their second, so she's got a very good chance of staying in that gold medal. But right now, Daniela Kolesnik from Russia for a world record attempt. Now, I believe this will give her the world junior record as well.
Yeah.
It'll give her the junior and open.
Yeah, because the junior is...
Junior's 152.5, open record's 153. looking for 155. She had a crack at this on a second. And it didn't look overly bad.
So this
It
will
was
take
all
her.
pretty close to getting it, so I reckon just
Yeah.
a couple of little adjustments.
So this will put her in the gold medal in the bench press
Gold
for the
medal
moment.
and the world
And
record.
the world record.
She's getting a
No.
replacement call. I'm not
Is it
sure what
replacement?
for.
She got some time. She got 20.
She's got plenty of
23
time.
Second left.
Just needs to stay calm. No need to rush. She's still got plenty of time. Got another
No, I
replacement
think
call.
she's
She's
got
got to be
problem.
out of time now.
Yeah, she got no time left. Yeah.
Not quite sure
Call it.
what it was for. I
So-
couldn't quite see the referees giving the instructions.
That's
That
a
is
failure.
a disappointing way to end her bench press session with a timeout on a world record attempt there. So now we have Erica Buono from Brazil looking for 155.5 for a world record attempt.
Yeah. So this will give her a gold medal in the bench press and also the world record.
So she had a crack at this before. So currently, Steele from Great Britain is sitting in that
So
gold medal
still holding
position.
the gold medal, yes, with 150.
And she's let everyone else play their little game on the world records while she's just snuck in there. So I'll take that gold medal, please.
Well,
I'll
she's-
keep it
she's
warm for you.
she's
If you want it,
guaranteed a
you're going to have
medal
to
in
get a
there.
world record.
Absolutely.
155.5. And there wasn't much in it in the first attempt at this. Gets the start command.
Oh, that looks
And
good.
I think she might have this one. Let's wait and see.
Yes,
She
she
does. She
does.
gets the world record and she gets the gold medal in the bench press as well. So Steele will have to wait, and Steele will have to take home the silver, and Kolesnik will take home the bronze in the bench press as well. But don't go
session.
too far away. It's just going to get better. We've got the deadlift to come. We have world record attempts in every single session. Is the deadlift going to bring us some world record attempts? I certainly hope so. We'll be right back here
It's certainly going to bring the winner.
in 10 minutes' time. Welcome back to beautiful Dubai for the 2019 IPF World Open Powerlifting Championships, and it has been heating up. If you want a gold medal in any of these lifts, looks like you've got to chase after a world record, and we're right into the deadlifts. And this is probably one of the least technical lifts in regards to rules and things that go wrong. It's one of those you don't have to be waiting for a start command. So setting up and getting ready is a lot easier. Nothing can really go wrong there. So basically you've got to wait for that down command. So you've got to bring the bar up, and there's a few things you can fail on. The bar has to continue in an upward motion, so there can't be any up-down movement as well. You can't support it on your thighs, so you often see that sort of rolling it up and lifting it up against your thighs. When you get to the top, shoulders have to be back, knees and hips have to be locked at the top as well, and you've got to wait for that down command. And so you've got to hold it at the top until the referees are ready and say, yes, you can put it down now. So as far as athletes are concerned, all the technicalities, there's not as much to remember in this one as, say, the bench press, where there's so many technical things that can go wrong. In this one, there's a few less things. You can walk out, start the lift as soon as you're ready, not having to wait for it. But the biggest thing is locking everything at the top as well. And of course, we are just 30 seconds away from kicking off these deadlifts. And big thank you, of course, to Alico, who always raise the bar. Uplift for such an amazing competition, and of course an amazing coaching platform as well, bringing athletes and coaches together from around the world. And SBD, the greatest lifting equipment you can get your hands on. We wear it because we love it. If you put that belt on, you'll probably never take it off. I'm pretty sure when I got mine, I wore it for 3 days and I even slept in it. And of course, we're back here with Ralph Ferguson as well, two-time Hall of Famer, EPF Secretary General, and we are going to take you through all the action on the deadlift platform with Wiley Yu from Hong Kong, looking for 120 kilos to open her campaign.
And it's going to be some action.
Well, so far in each of these lifts, we've seen people going after world records just in an attempt to get a gold medal. And that was a very nice opening lift. Exactly how you want your opening lift to look. Hiro Uchigami from Japan, looking for 125. Well under a personal best of 145. So
yeah,
I mean, we talk about it all the time. Conservative opening lifts, particularly in the deadlift, I think. You know, you've had to manage your energy levels and your fatigue throughout the day. This is where you're starting to get tired.
Discipline. Yep.
You know, and you could, you know, in a gym, in your training, yes, you could probably hit a 145 every day of the week. But can you hit a 145 after you've done your squats, after you've done your bench?
That is the question.
Then doing it.
Plus all the warm-ups as well.
All your warm-up lifts. And that was a great opening lift there. Yeah, no problems with that one.
We talk about this as well. I mean, is it many lifters that literally in a session physically done the 3 discipline? Because do they normally split it and then?
Yeah, look, a lot of the training is, you know, 1 day a week squat. The next training session is your bench. Next one's your dead. A lot of my guys leading up to competitions, I'll have them do all 3 lifts in one session. Marlene Sabati looks good at 137.5. Yeah, usually often with a lot of my guys, 6 weeks leading up to a competition, we'll have 1 day a week where they're doing all 3 lifts to really condition them for that competition day.
So they can get conditioned to it, that's correct, yeah.
Adriana Marino looking for 140. And it looks like a nice, easy opening lift.
Yep, 3 white light.
152.5 kilos next weight of the bar.
Melody Antoine from France, 152.5.
Followed it, 152.5 kilos, Melody Antoine of France.
Just clipping that patented SBD belt across. Quite a wide grip position.
Yes, yeah.
from there, but
Normally they grip the bar just inside the
yeah, I mean, there's a good use of doing that, getting your hands out to that knurling. And if you've ever held on to, I mean, if you're at home and you're watching this, you've never held on to an Eleiko bar, it has the most aggressive knurling on the planet. I mean, it's great to hang on to, but it certainly puts some pressure on those hands.
It don't do a lot for the fans, yeah.
Ramalakshmi from India, 160.
Yeah. Just 5 kilo below her personal best. Easy up there.
Yeah, no problems with that one. And looks like she might have just been told by the referees.
Yeah, I can see what
left
happened.
sock needs to be
The
pulled
one
up.
sock on the right hand side
Isn't pulled up.
Yeah, the rule said the socks must be up just below the knees, and that is to stop any blood.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to be scraping the bar across your legs and having to clean it, clean it off every time. Yuki Terada, 165. So, the aim is to keep that bar as close to the body as you can. So it's going to drag
keep
up.
It in center base. Drive from the hips. That looks good. Very strong.
3 white lights. Eva Buxbaum now from Denmark looking for 165. Gets it to the top. Probably looked a little bit tougher than she'd want for an opening lift.
But I think all the movement, if I can remember right, all the movement deadlift was very slow.
You can sort of see the expression on her face when she finished. It sort of, maybe felt a little bit harder than I wanted it to. Caroline Soon from France, 170.
This is 2.5 kilo below her personal best. She unfortunately didn't make the squat.
And she's had a tough day.
She not, yeah. Again, this is very close to her personal best.
I imagine she wants to go after a personal best and finish on a bit of a high note.
Yep, that looks good.
And very easy opener. So we go 135 now for Hiro Hoshigami from Japan for her second lift. Her opener flew up.
This will take up from 7 to 6 plies overall. It's still a long way to go.
So if you're watching at home and you've just joined us, we're in the 57 kilo women in the deadlifts. This is the first of 2 flights. And that was certainly looking like a second lift there. Fair bit of effort. Wiley Yu now from Hong Kong, 140 for her second lift.
It's a 20 kilo increase from a first to second.
Big jump.
Yeah, just give her a personal best.
We talk about big jumps and small jumps. Yeah, some athletes will train for the bigger jumps, and they like to come out, open a little bit light, take a big jump into their second. And it worked very, very well for her. Yeah, look, that looked like a pretty, almost looked like an opener. Molina Sabati from Austria, 145.
She opened at 137.5. Now she's gone another 7.5.
And you can see the fatigue starting to set in a little bit.
Yeah.
But she gets it on the board.
Yes.
And does what she needed to do.
Yeah. I could see the bar move away from her body, then she had to pull the bar
Yeah,
back
and
to her
that
body.
takes a lot of energy to do that.
Absolutely.
Adriana Moreno from Costa Rica, 150. Gets it on the board again. Melody Antoinade from France, 160.
Followed in 160 kilos, Melody Antoine of France.
I don't think we've seen a conventional deadlift yet this week.
Not this week, no.
Which is not unusual in the smaller or the lighter weight classes to lifting sumo.
That looks good.
And a good second lift on the board. And she kept that in nice and close. Almost got a little bit out of time at the top, but managed to correct it very quickly. Ramalakshmi from India, 167.5.
This will be a new personal best by 2.5 kilo.
167.5. And just waiting for her to come out. And here she is. As we said earlier, it's a lift that you don't have to wait for the start command. So you can come out that little bit later. There's nothing that's going to go wrong with a setup.
That looks good.
That should be a good lift, and it is. So 170 then gets loaded for Eva Buxbaum. Now, be interested to watch this lift. Her deadlifts are generally not fast-moving deadlifts.
No.
But that first lift, the expression on her face just sort of suggested it felt heavier than it should have.
Yeah. But I see her many times really struggling at first, second, and the third. We've got them all.
And she looks a bit more fired up on this one.
She's working. Hip through. It's a hip,
Yeah,
it's a hip through.
I mean, it didn't look any really different from her first one.
No.
She certainly had to put in a bit of work, but it moved at about the same speed. Yuki Terada, 175.
An increase of 5 kilo from her opener. No, 10 kilo. She opened at 165, she gone 175.
Taking her time. She's got plenty of time on the clock. Might as well use it.
Get a big drive from the hip.
Yeah, it should be a good lift. A little bit of a pause and a slowdown in the middle of the lift there, but the bar didn't go down at all. You see, just as she gets past the knees, there's a bit of a pause as she transitions that back a little bit.
Stage over, yeah. And the whole thing is, once you get to your knees, use the hip, drive the hip forward towards the bar.
Yeah, so you've got that 2 stages of the lift there. Caroline Soon from France, 177.5.
This will be a new personal best. The personal best previous is 172.5.
Well, I think there's going to be another personal best coming after that one.
Oh, yeah, pump the air.
'Cause that moved very well.
Easy.
177.5 kilos from Caroline Sood of France.
And nothing but green on the board so far.
This is good to see.
Fantastic to see. So Hiro Fujigami from Japan now 140.
This will give her a 387.5 kilo total.
52 years of age. Lifting here in the Opens and teaching us all how it's done. Great close-up there of the patented waffle pattern on the Eleiko bar. It came from their waffle irons.
Get the hip forward.
And is she resting that across her thighs? Did she give it a bit of a rest and a kick with the thighs?
The referee says.
She
they
did.
agree with you.
2 red lights, unfortunately. Wiley Yu from Hong Kong, 145.
This would give her a total of 382.5 if she's successful.
Which, incidentally, will be a personal best total.
Yes, 375 is previously best.
That's a big personal best total and not a bad way to finish a World Championship event. Wow, she has got lots of room in her deadlift to grow. We're going to see some big deadlifts for her in the future. Marlene Zabati, Austria, 150.
This will be a personal best deadlift, and we'll give her a 410 kilo total.
7.5 kilos over a previous best.
So that'd be a good week.
Not a bad way to finish.
For her. Yep.
And certainly not a bad addition to your total.
Well, she's working it.
I think she's
Should be
got
good.
it. It is. She's got the 3 white lights on there, and she's pretty happy with that. Adriana Moreno from Costa Rica looking for 160.
Give her a 400 kilo total. And it'll be a big personal best on the total. Previous is 387, 385.
Yeah, adding 15 kilos to your
15
total, that's
kilo.
fantastic.
Yeah. If you come into a world championship, go back with a personal best.
If
You'll have the
if you
good
can add 15
championship.
kilos to your total in 2 years, you're doing well.
Exactly.
She's still working it. She's going to get it to the top, but I think she's going to get done for downward movement, and she couldn't hang on to the bar. What a shame. But she gave it everything she had. So Melody Antoine from France now looking for 165.
This will equal her personal best deadlift. Give her a 472.5 kilo total. And again, this will also give her a 12.5 kilo increase in her overall total.
And certainly not a bad way to finish.
Not at all. No,
And
look a bit too
you can
much.
see it just got away from her a little bit as well. Have a look at the replay here. Yeah, even shifted forward from the start there. And you can see her whole body start to lean and pulled her forward. You know, she made a right call there, putting the bar down, rather than risking anything injury. Kenya Montserrat from Ecuador. No, it shouldn't be Kenya Montserrat from Ecuador.
No.
We've got a bit of a board problem. And somehow we've
Wrong
skipped
wrong
on to
lifter, I
the somehow we skipped onto the wrong flight there.
The wrong flight, yes.
And this should be Ramashmi from India, 170.
She's going 170. We should give her a 440 kilo total.
Yeah, a little bit too heavy though at the end of the day, fatigue. She didn't really look like she had a great grip on that bar either. So Eva Boxbom from Denmark now 175.
Bar is loaded, no more changes, 175 kilos, Eva Buxbaum of Denmark.
This will give her a 425 kilo total.
Well, let's see how this one looks.
She's
having
fighting
to
it.
work. She's fighting.
She's fighting it.
I think
Is she
she's
locked
got
out?
it there.
She's uppy.
What do the referees say?
Yes.
Yes, she has.
175 kilos for Eva Buxbaum. Next weight on the bar.
She really had to work for that one, but she gets it there at the end and locks it out at the top. Caroline Soon from France, 182 and a half.
Bar is loaded. 182.5 kilos, Caroline Soon of France.
Yeah, unfortunately she can't make a total.
Yeah, she had a bit of a rough day, but she's going to try and finish on a very,
Pretty good
very
deadlift.
big personal best on a deadlift. See if she can add 10 kilos to her personal best. A nice way to finish. After a rough start to the day. And I think she might have got this.
Yes, I think.
She has. She
Yeah,
gets the
got
2
one.
white lights and a big personal best, and not a bad consolation prize for a rough start to the day.
Round 3 for the A group. This is Yuki Terada of Japan. Hilda Haugen and Ellie Steele, get ready.
Should be a personal
Yuki
best.
Terada, 185.
And this will give her a 447.5 kilo total.
And moved well. Moved really well off the floor, and you could see it looked like it actually just sort of caught the skin on the knee a little bit, and that set her off. Let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, right there, just catches the inside of the knee, and unfortunately, once it did that, drops it back down, and it's not going anywhere. So right now then, we move into our second flight with Hilda Mikkelsen from Norway, 162 and a half. Looks like she's really been enjoying herself today.
Yes, squatted well, 205, finished with 140 on the bench. And now she's opening with 162.5, 10 kilo below her personal best.
Yeah, great opening lift. And she really does look like she's having a great time out there today. So we go to 165 for Ellie Steele.
Yelly, she's also having a great day.
Having a fantastic day.
Squat
And
217.5.
get this
bench
one on the
150.
board for solidify that total.
Yep.
And then have a look at the numbers and see where she is. And she certainly put herself in a good position. She needs to get this one on the board first. before she can start looking at any of the numbers.
Look a bit slow at the top, but I
Yeah,
think that should
she
be okay.
a bit of a hesitation at the top there, but she gets it. You know, probably seeing the replay, there's just a little bit of hesitation just before she got to lockout.
Just there.
But she
But they
managed to
didn't
correct
come back
it.
down.
It didn't
just
drop
keep
down.
going.
Kenya Montserrat from Ecuador, 180.
Bar loaded, 180 kilos, Kenya Montserrat, Ecuador.
That's comfortable up now.
Well, she made that look very easy. That's how you want your opening lift to look and how you want it to feel.
180 remains on the bar for Anna Ryshkova of Russia. Hartati and Erica, get ready. The bar is loaded, 180 kilos for Anna Ryshkova.
Anna Ryshkova,
Russia.
180. Well below her personal best.
Yep. So should be a very easy opener for her.
And just waiting for her to take the platform.
Again, she's seems to be taking a long time.
Thankfully, thankfully for this one, you
She
don't have to worry about
yeah.
any technicalities on your setup. But you still don't want to be rushing yourself. And that should be a good lift. It is for the three white lights. Hartati 3 from Indonesia, 180.
Just below her personal best, well, 10 kilo below.
Needs to get this one on board,
Yeah,
solidify
just
that
gets it up.
total. She's in a really strong position. And there's going to be a battle between her and Steele. And they're going to have to be careful because there's plenty of others that are sitting
It's gonna be
right
weight,
there,
yeah.
waiting
The
for
pounds.
them to make a mistake battling it out. And it was pretty smooth all the way
Yeah,
through.
Should be good.
Didn't look like it was giving her any trouble. So we stay with 180. Erica Borno from Brazil.
Yeah. She's just 5 kilo below her personal best.
Need to get this one on the board.
Yes, get in the competition and sit back and then start to look where you are.
Yep, she has a world record. She needs a total to keep that.
That should be good.
And there she goes. She solidifies the total. She guarantees herself the world record now. And now moving on, Daniela Kolesnik from Russia, 185. Again, really important to solidify this total. She's in a very good position. Put some pressure on those medals. And that looked pretty good.
Yes.
3 white lights.
192.5 kilos. Taylor LaChapelle, USA, is the next weight of the bar. Hung and Haugen, get ready. Bar loaded, 192.5 kilos. Taylor LaChapelle.
Taylor LaChapelle from the USA, 192.5. 20 years of age.
Yeah, a bit of fright on the deadlift, on the bench press, sorry. She went down to the last, was it last bench press? Did I got it right?
Yes, she did.
yeah.
Yeah, she missed her opener and missed her second. Cost her several kilos as well. So now she's trying to fight her way back up into medals.
That should be a good opener.
And it is. So she's solidified that total. Now she can see if she can fight her way back up into the medals.
is Yu Sing Hung.
Zi
Chinese
Ching
Taipei.
Hung, Chinese Taipei, 195.
Moving to round 2. Bar is loaded. 195 kilos. Yu Sing Ching Hung.
So well under her personal best.
Yeah, she's been confused all day because she's putting this personal best compared to what she's lifting. It's a huge difference, isn't it?
45 seconds.
The current world record is 210, and the world junior record is 200.5. And the world total record, 565.
Oh, that's
Oh, made
that
that open
looks
look
good.
easy.
Rewind lights and a good look at 195 kilos.
Gets that one on the board. So they've all solidified their totals now.
Their first deadlift.
Now they can start looking
Let's
at
go
the
for
numbers and
medals.
figuring out what they've got to do. So Hilda Mikkelsen from Norway, 167 and a half.
Anna Rishkova, get ready. Bar loaded, 167.5 kilos. Hilda Hagen, Norway.
Yeah, she looks a little bit more fired up for this one.
This will give her a 512 kilo total with one lift to go. She has to fight in the middle, but the finish has got it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of fight in that one. What you'd expect for a second. And it goes on the board. Ellie Steele now, Great Britain, 755. Sorry, 175.
7.5. This will equal her personal best.
755, that'd be impressive.
It would be. And this will give her a 542.5 kilo total with one attempt to go. So
This is
put her in a very strong position
this is
for
an
a medal of
important
some
lift.
sort.
It's an extra 10 kilos.
Yeah.
And then she can look at whatever
Sit
else is
around,
doing.
coaches,
Third lift.
yes. Tell me what I need.
And what can she go after?
Ooh, again.
And she's not able to lock it out. There was
Not
downward
finish.
movement anyway.
Yeah.
No lift, unfortunately, for Ellie Steele at 175.
So
That could hurt her.
that might cost her a little bit.
Yeah. You notice her knees are locked.
Yeah,
And
she
the
locked
bar
out
is
a little
still
bit too
just above the
early.
knees. Yeah.
Mistimed it.
Yeah. There's no way you can pull that weight with your shoulders.
It'd be a sumo conventional. Anna Ryshkova from Russia, 187 and a half. A couple of failed lifts here and there from people. Could be opening the doors. It looks like a good lift, it is. And you've got so many of these athletes hanging around the 530, 535,
Yeah.
538.
One
Just
mistake
waiting.
and you could
yeah,
all
that's
change.
right. A couple of mistakes from the top lifters, and all of a sudden, you find yourself in the medals. Erica, we all know, from Brazil, 187.5.
Be a new personal best. This will give her a 538 kilo total with one attempt to go.
So that will actually put her up into contention
Yes.
in that bronze medal position and just waiting.
She's fighting it. She got the hip through.
Gets it to the top. She looks pretty happy.
Did. Yeah, she got blue, but she got two whites.
Two whites, and that's enough.
190 next weight on the bar. Kenya Montserrat.
Kenya Montserrat, 190.
Is loaded. 190 kilos. Kenya Montserrat, Ecuador.
You look at the top five lifters, you know, you've got a 552 and a half, 530, 545, 540, 542 and a half, 538. They're all right there in striking distance.
A whole bunch of them that could take a medal. Take a medal.
And
Good
you
finish.
can see just how hard they're pushing themselves in these seconds to try and get themselves up there. Kenya Montserrat gets that one on the board. Patati's 3 looking for 190.
Bar is loaded.
This will equal her personal best.
Tati's 3, Indonesia. Daniela Kolesnik and Taylor LaChapelle.
And like I said, this would
Get ready.
So a mistake
give her-
here could cost very,
Absolutely.
very dearly.
This will give her a 552.5 kilo total, but then she would have 1 attempt to go. And again, in the final roll on the deadlift, there's 2 changes.
2 changes. So you'll see a lot of
The coaches,
shuffling on this one.
the coaches are making some adjustment, yeah. She finished it well.
And it didn't look anything different to her previous lift. So gets that one on the board.
Daniela Kolesnik, Russia. Bar is
Daniela Kolesnik from Russia, 192.5.
This should be a personal best for her.
And again, this is another athlete that needs to get this one on the board,
Yep.
or it's going to open that door.
Correct. This would give her a 537.5 kilo, well,
545.
Sorry. And she would give her 1 more attempt.
And she handles that very well. Very good lift there.
92.5 kilos, 197.5 is the next weight on the bar for Taylor LaChapelle.
Taylor LaChapelle, 197.5.
This is the junior lifter.
Yeah, that bench press, not getting those extra kilos has
Yeah,
really
could
cost her.
hurt her. Yeah.
I mean, it's a possible 10 kilos that she was going after that she didn't get.
This will give her a 535 kilo total, and with 1 attempt.
Yeah, and it just goes to show the difference. I mean, if you don't get those 3 attempts
Yeah.
on your bench press, that's 10 kilos she potentially missed out on. She'd now be going for a 545 total,
Yes.
which would
It
put her
put
right
her
up
right
into
up
the
in
medals.
Correct. She's fighting it.
And that should be a good lift. It is. 3 white lights.
197.5 kilos for Taylor LaChapelle. 202.5 kilos next.
And we look for Si Jing Hung, Chinese Taipei, 202.5.
Haugen and Steele, get ready. Bar is loaded. 202.5 kilos. Siu Ching Hung, Chinese.
This will give her a 442.5 kilo total, and move her from 12th to 10th place for the moment, with 1 attempt to go.
Going after that gold medal in the deadlift.
For sure.
30 seconds.
Oh,
A
yes.
little bit of a squeal there to say thank you very much. And the 3 white lights. Puts herself in a solid position there to get that gold medal in the deadlift. They're going to have to come after it. Hilda Mikkelsen
Of Norway. To be followed by
Right.
Steele and
looking for 170.
Good series. Start with 162 and 167. Now she's gone 170. Not big jumps, but she does execute each one. And this will give her a 515.
Yeah, which is a
total.
very big personal best.
Yeah.
So she already has a personal best total. This will just give her a little bit extra.
And take her from, well, keep her in 8th place, where she's at the moment.
Not going to rush it.
No, no. Drop the knees.
Wants to get
Use
it
the
right.
hip to drive. Hip through. That looks good.
Yeah,
Oh,
did she
get down?
Did she beat the down command?
Oh, she got
No,
it.
she managed to hold on to it long enough and just sneak it in there. Even the jury's having a bit of a smile at that one. She just held it in there long enough. Ellie Steele, 175.
Yeah, she
Missed
missed
this
this.
on her second.
Yeah, she
And
needs to slow the legs down a little bit.
And it's cost her a
yeah,
little bit too.
it is. It
That's
has
the
cost
extra
her.
kilo she's not going after now.
But she needs to slow the legs down. The leg was straightened before the bar just gone past the top of the knees. So she got nowhere to drive from the hips. Slow it down a bit, slow it down. No, I think we're too
Just
heavy
a little
today.
bit too much today. She certainly gave it everything she had.
No lift at 175. 193.5 kilos next weight on the bar for Anna Vyskova.
Yeah, just wasn't able to keep it moving. Erica Biono from Brazil, 190.
Please load the bar to 190. Anna Vyskova and Sri Hartati to follow.
Should be a personal best. Her previous is 185, and if you give her a 540.5 kilo total.
Which should be a very, very big personal best total.
Certainly would be.
And that 0.5 there
It's added to
may
the,
just come into play.
Could well do. At one time ago, the 0.5 didn't count, but it's now count towards the total, which is
Yeah, look,
very
I mean,
handy.
she's got Lars Chappelle going after 540 total. That
She's
0.5,
got it, I think.
I
Looks
think
good.
she's got it there. So that currently keeps her in the bronze medal position.
Yes.
And she's got Lars Chappelle coming after her, looking for a 540 total. So Lars Chappelle can't go 540.5. She has to add on an extra 2.5.
Correct.
Which means she's got to lift 205 if she wants to chase after it. So that 0.5 could make all the difference.
Big difference, yeah.
We're looking at Anna Ruskova from Russia. And it's just a bit too much. She'll be disappointed with that. Hatati Sri, 195.
Bar is loaded. 195 kilos. Hatati Sri, Indonesia.
This will give her a 557.5 kilo total. Keep her in first place for the moment.
Yeah, look, if she can put this one on, she forces Kolesnik to pull for that gold medal.
She needs to nail this one. And then it'll have to...
And Kolesnik would have to pull 210, I think. Or 207.5 because she's outweighed her.
Going, it's going. I think she's got it.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. It's on the board, so she holds on to that gold medal position.
She's in gold medal.
And will we see Kolesnik change hers? So Kenya Montserrat now from Ecuador, 197.5. This will shift her up into the bronze medal position.
That will give her a 542.5 kilo total. And says put her in bronze medal for the moment.
45 seconds.
197.5, well over a personal best. A massive personal best total. I think she's got it there. It should be a good lift.
Yes.
It is. So she slides up to the bronze medal position. She had to work hard to get it there, but she gets it in the end. World Junior total record, Daniela
total record.
Kolesnik.
Junior world record total.
Total, looking for a total of 552.5. Previous world record, 547.
This will put her in
200
silver
kilograms.
medal position in the overall.
Looking for a
Big.
world record and a silver medal here.
Don't look as if
And
you're
it
going to move.
just didn't want to shift. You can see the fatigue just taking its toll at the end there.
205 is the next weight on the bar for Taylor LaChapelle,
So we
USA.
go 205 now. World Junior deadlift record. Taylor LaChapelle, 205.
Yeah.
And this will move her into gold medal for deadlift and a bronze medal overall.
Yes. This is a big pull in this. Could be two.
She's going to have to
world.
work for every
Yeah,
bit of this.
Of course. World record. And
World
medal.
junior
It's
record.
gonna
She's got it
go.
moving. It's still moving up. And
No.
not
Just slow down.
today.
Well tried.
Certainly wasn't for lack of effort. So we come to the final deadlift now. Si Ching Hung looking for 210.5
Yeah,
for the world record attempt. Why not?
absolutely.
She has nothing to lose
Her
here.
2.5 was comfortable, so why not have
She
a go?
already has the gold medal locked away in the deadlift. She's got nothing to lose here.
We was concerned about it because she
Yep.
squat was way below what she personal best. Bench press also was very low, but now
Well, and she may have saved enough energy for
maybe.
this.
Yep.
A world record attempt to finish this session. What a way to go out the door. 210.5 kilograms. Well, that
Fisher's
moved
got it.
a lot faster than you'd think a world record would move. She has. She gets the world record. What a way to finish. For 3 from Indonesia takes out our gold medalist with a 5:57.5. Kolesnik with the silver with a 5:45. And Montserrat from Ecuador with a 5:42.5 for the bronze. But what a way to finish with a gold
what a
medal.
fantastic session, yeah.
Don't go too far away. Medal ceremony coming up very, very shortly. Then at 4 p.m. local time, we'll be right back here with the 74-kilo men.
Medals will be presented by Mohammed Al-Miri, the General Secretary of the United Arab Emirates Federation, and by Mr. Gaston Farage, IPF President. First we present the medals for participation, after which we present the medals for each lift, and finally crown the new World Champion 57 kilo class. Okay, does everyone have their medals? Okay, so first of all, we present the medals for squat. In third place. No. Wait 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're ready? We're ready. So, first of all, we present the medals for squat in a bronze medal position with 217.5 kilos. Look how close this is, ladies and gentlemen. From Great Britain, 217.5, it's Ellie Steele! In silver medal position with 217.5 from the USA, Taylor LaChapelle. And the gold medal in squat, also with 217.5 from Indonesia, Hartati Sri. Magnificent job, ladies. Fantastically close competition. Thank you, and we now move to presenting the medals for bench press. In bronze medal position with 147.5 kilos from Russia, Daniela Kolesnik. Well done, Daniela. Silver medal on bench press with 150 kilos from Great Britain, Ellie Steele. And in gold medal position with 155.5 and a new world In bronze medal position with 197.5 kilos from Ecuador, Kenya, Montserrat. Silver medal on deadlift, also with 197.5 kilos from USA, Taylor LaChapelle. The gold medal on deadlift with 210.5 kilos and a new deadlift world record from Chinese Taipei, Su Qinghong. Well done, ladies. Amazing job. Thank you, ladies. And we now move to crowning the world champion in bronze medal position, 542.5 kilos total, from Ecuador, Kenya, Montserrat. Silver medal with 545 kilos, from Russia, Daniela Kolesnik. Your new 57 kilo world champion with 557.5 kilos from Indonesia, Hatati Sri. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of Indonesia. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And please join me in giving them an extra round of applause as they leave the platform. Ladies, if you can follow Mohammed and Mr. Faraj off the platform, please. Put your hands together. The 57 kilo class 2019 Open World Championship.